Boop. Alright, we're gonna try this. I'm gonna do it without makeup this time. There we go. Promise no barking. Okay. So first things first. In sun printing, the most common thing seems to be everybody wants to print botanicals. And I've all the videos that I can find, people going through since I don't know, I started doing this about 10 years ago. And they had just really kind of started promoting photosensitive inks, basically for fabric, that you could buy and frankly spend a fortune on. And then I learned how to do it with acrylics, just cheapy deco paints. So when I say cheapy decos, what I am talking about are these. So a lot of my personal work has a lot of different layers of types of paints and processes and whatever. But deco art, right? This is Anita's all-purpose acrylic. These are the simple cheapy paints that you find in any craft store. Heck, you can probably find them at the hardware store. If you were doing like stenciling, they'd probably charge more. But at the craft supply, they're usually under $2. So, and then when I use them, we'll see in a later video, but I don't use very much, so they tend to get a little old on me because I buy in bulk. So, like when I open this one up, let's see if he flows at all. Yeah. Just barely. So I'm gonna need to add a little water to this guy. But I would be diluting it in a bowl of water anyway. Most of the demonstrations that people do with this stuff, they use botanicals. So we're gonna use those for our example today. And what they don't say in any of those videos is how to get the proper image to print. And the biggest problem that I have with their presentations is that they don't talk about pressing the flowers or pressing your leaves. Because whatever isn't actually touching when you lay it on the surface, these are absolutely adorable little flowers after they've been pressed. But they never talk about pressing and drying your botanicals first so that you get good contact. So I went out in my yard because I grow things specifically for doing this process, and then I take the biggest picture books I can find and I press them. So this is what would not print at all. Let's see if you can see this. It wouldn't have printed at all because it would have had no contact with the actual fabric or the paint, because this is Russian sage. Russian sage is puffy and fuzzy. So the only thing that would have printed, because it would be raised off the surface by its own fuzz, would be the one little bit of fuzz that's touching the surface. And then you get into larger things that are all fluffy in the garden, like this Baptisia. So when I see if you can see that, but he's flat now, right? So I'm gonna get much greater surface contact, so I'm much more likely to get that full image. Anyway, so that's that guy. I'm gonna put him back in the book for taking them outside because it might be a little breezy, but this is just the beginning. And the sun keeps popping in and out. Today, it's now 1:45, so I'm gonna see if I can't get a print, but I'm not gonna, pin my life on it. I would say that the warmer days, you have to really watch that your inks are not drying out or your paints aren't drying out during the process, because they'll dry really, really quickly. So I tend to keep a garden hose on a mist setting. Look at that. This is a a royal fern. I love that. Just love it. And it is so flat. It's going to print perfectly. Anyway, I have lots and lots of these little guys all set and ready to go. So then we're going to go outside. I'm going to make a mess and we'll see what we get. And that'll be another section.